There we go. We've got audio. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. How we doing? Good to see you all. I think we've got audio. Let's have a little goosey gander. And we have. That's marvellous. Welcome back to the Gallagher Premiership. What are we saying? We've missed this, haven't we? It's good to have some ruggers back. I say proper ruggers. It's not the only ruggers available, is it? But it's nice to have some English rugby back. Absolutely. Got a couple in. Happy days. We take that. We haven't tweeted this out tonight, so we'll see how we get on. I'm not that fussed. I'm just happy there's some rugby on the telly. Because it's been challenging trying to find a decent game that I know anything about. But there we go. Right, so Saracens versus Bristol. What is everybody saying on this one? Freddie is in the house. So happy the Prem back after the Exeter, off to the Exeter game tomorrow. Nice. I'm not using StreamYard tonight, so I can't flag your comments up. I do miss that. I like that about StreamYard, but that's probably the only thing I like about StreamYard. The rest, it's not for me. It's not for me. Right. Anyway, we have got a corking start to the Premiership tonight. I am looking forward to it. It's going to be pretty epic. Let's have a little look and see. Yeah, that's what we want. So, we're going to go over the teams in a little bit. In fact, in just a couple of seconds, I'm just cutting it down now. Let's, do you know what, if I do that, and then I do that, oh, do you know what? I'm such a wet wipe when it comes to this stuff. It's not the one I want. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Let's make that nice and big. Right. Okay. Let's have a little look at these teams this evening then, courtesy of the Sky Sports websites. So, for Bristol, up front in the front row at loose head, we've got Jack Woolman, Henry Thacker in at hooker, and Max Leaf in at tight head. He's a bit of a nut job, isn't he? Max Leaf loves his socials. He's like the modern day Hask. Is that right? Is that fair? I don't know. And then into the second rows then we've got Ed Holmes and Christopher Vui. Onto the back row in a blind side we've got Stephen Luata in at number 7. Just the one name for this gentleman, Thomas. No idea who that is. And the big man himself in at number 8, ex-England international, Nathan Hughes. Into the backs, we've got Andy Uren in at scrum half, Callum Sheedy in at fly half. On the blindside wing, we've got Ion Lloyd and Alapati Liua in the centres, alongside Pierce O'Connor, Luke Morahan in at 14, and Charles Pietau at fullback. Star-studded squad for the Bristol Bearbacks this evening. On to Saracens then. Ralph Adams Hale is the loose head. Oh, BT just scared the life out of me. They just shouted time for the second half. I was thinking I'd missed half the game. In at hooker, Tom Wollstonecroft. In at tight head, we have Marco Riccioni. Into the second rows, we've got Nick Ezekiel and Tim Swinson. Onto the back rows, We have Jackson Ray, Ben Earl and Billy Vunipola. Onto the backs for Saracens, we've got Aled Davis in at 9. Alex Lewoski returned from his loan deal in at 10. Ramiti Segan is on the blindside wing. I think he had a pretty decent game against Ulster, if I remember rightly. He looked a bit naughty. So looking forward to seeing him out and about. Nick Tompkins in at 12. Dominic Morris in at 13. Alex Lewington in at 14. And let's call him Elliot, because there's no way I'm pronouncing that, in at 15. 20,000 fans expected in Ashton Gate this evening. And doesn't it look fab? Fully packed out. Hopefully, I say fully packed out. The end stand isn't. The side stands are, the main stands are, but the ends are pretty empty. Is what it is. But yes, 20 glorious thousand people. I hope they're vaccinated. That would be a bit of a mess, wouldn't it? Never mind. Anyway, right. Ball tracking is up and running. We're on the ball tonight. We're not messing about tonight. So, just waiting for kickoff. Who's your pick tonight? Who are you backing for this one? It's going to be close, isn't it? A lot of the betting sites are saying Bristol by 6. I don't know. I'm not sure Bristol by 6 is a big call, you know. But yeah, I fancy the Bearbacks for this. Maybe by 3. That's my call. The Bearbacks by 3. I've only got 1 tin left as well. I'm on my last can. What's your tipple this evening? I'm on the kangaroo piss. Got the Fosters on the go. We're going to nurse this one slowly. I don't want it to last for 80 minutes, but I'm not even sure what we're going to do when we run out. I haven't even looked in the cupboard. We'll find something at half time. Right. There we go. So, big boys out in force tonight. Looking forward to this. Huge matchups in the back line. Sheedy versus Lewowski. Tompkins versus Luawa. Who else we got as a decent matchup? Duren Davis would probably be a decent little combat. But here they come. Saracens in there. What is that? Guess that's their new kit. Not a fan. What's with the line down the middle? Is that so they can have a little bump at half time? Just to pick them, little pick me up at half time. Right. Here they come then, the Bearbacks. Playing a bit of Greatest Showman round the ground as well. Scenes you love to see. 8 of us in. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. I'm looking forward to this. Hope you are. It's gonna be a humdinger. So he says. Just waiting for the Bearbacks to come out. Here they come, led by Piatau. And what are we thinking of their new training facilities as well, the Bearbacks? They have sharpened up, haven't they? Come a long way from Bristol City RFC, haven't they? Not quite the whipping boys that they once were. They've had a bit of an Exeter style sort of fairy tale adventure, haven't they? What are we doing? Oh, we've got some silence. We're gonna have a moment silence for those that have lost their lives due to COVID. So we will observe that. So do bear with us while we will have what we having. Oh, we're having a minute applause. Well, we'll give a little ripple for that, won't we? Because fantastic cause. Well, there we go. Good old clap. Love a clap. Much better than a silence. Bit weird though, just clapping on your own on stream. Welcome in if you've just joined us. And why is this man just clapping on his stream? Wayne Barnes is the man in the middle with Paul Dix on one touch. I didn't see who was on the other touch. Apologies. Tom Foley in the cart on TMO duties. And we are ready to get off and running. I am buzzing. Hope you are too. This is going to be a great game. Wayne Barnes just has a quick count up. Make sure there's 15 aside. If you are looking to watch this game, by the way, it's on BT Sports in the UK. God knows what it's on in other parts of the world. I'm guessing Sky in New Zealand. I'm guessing Super Sports in South Africa. And I'm guessing in America it's probably going to be on Peacock, isn't it? Anyway, the kickoff's good. It's received by Bristol. They're in their own 22. They play one phase, and now Pepe Loren, Andy Loren box kicks for touch just outside of their own 10. Interesting, or I'm interested rather, to see how this 50-22 plays in this game. How is that going to affect the defensive line? And are they going to bother with it? Or are they just going to play some ruggers? As Sarries go two phases, one way the other, and one the other way, and they lose the ball and turned over. Knock on turnover. And Urem finds Sheedy, who does have a little dig at the 22. Doesn't find it. Well, bit of kick tennis, and Pietau dancing his way up to halfway. Uren then has a go. But again, straight down the 15 channel. Nothing to worry about for Saracens, who are holding one back. And again, Bristol peppering this 15 channel, looking for a mistake early doors. And Aled Davis will fling it back down the 5 metre channel. Sheedy then has a stab straight down the middle, trying to find the space and put this Saracens back three under pressure, which they do, and it goes out of play just inside of the Saracens half. So we'll have a restart there. Right, Nathan Hughes then up through midfield off the line out. Big bad Nathan Hughes. Chip over the top from Sheedy, and is it knocked on? No, it's not knocked on, and Pietau kicks it through, and it's into the 22, and Saracens are just about able to clean up through Thomas. So Saracens now using their forward pack just to get a bit better field position before they set the caterpillar, and Ali Davis will box away. Oh, former Osprey, Aled Davis. Hughes then with his blue mohawk wrestled down just inside of halfway, and it looks like Uren's going for a box. bit more kick tennis for us. Cagey opening scenes here at Ashton Gate as Sheedy puts another one up. Oh, sorry, it was Uren that put it up, and it's a decent chase and puts Saracens under a world of pressure. And advantage coming for Bristol, holding on. Penalty, first penalty to Bristol. 3 minutes 44 into the game, and it's Max Lahif. Feel free to have a chat, by the way, folks. If drop me a little note in there. Say hi. Say who you're backing, what you're drinking. Who's your team? It's always good to know who your team is. I know Freddie's is, if he's still here, is Leicester. I'm a Newcastle fan. I'm just a rugby fan, to be fair, but if I follow anyone, I follow Newcastle. We will be back on Sunday for the Newcastle game. I'm having a look at what's going on tomorrow, but my wife's in hospital, so I'm probably going to end up being there instead. Right, Sheedy then. We'll have a go at slotting these three. He bangs it firmly at the posts, and it slides through. 5 minutes gone, and Bristol take the lead. 3-0. So, restart already. No messing about here. And O'Connor gathers that. And Uren will set up a pod of forwards to crash it once before they box away. Uren then with another touch kick and get themselves just outside of their own 10 by the looks of it. I go straight over the top, and Bears take the ball away. And early doors, you have to say that Bears look sharper. Advantage knock on, and Saracens will kick the ball away into Bristol 22, and Sheedy will return that just short of interest. And Piatow then finds touch just inside the Saracens 10. So decent nudge there from him. And Saracens then will have the line out, and they just about secure it at the front through Ezekiel. And Wollstonecroft then has to make a dash, and it's a bit isolated. And Latua... sorry, the penalty goes away against Harry Thacker. And just being the wrong side. Latua was good, but Thacker was the wrong side. It's a decent nudge as well. I reckon that's on the 22, you know. It might be inside it. Yeah, just can't get out. Locked in by both sides. So it is inside the 22, and Wollstonecroft will put this in for Saracens' first physical visit to the Bristol 22. 8 minutes played now, and Saracens set them all. Splintering blind, and it comes to ground, and it's held in. What a lid has. If you're watching the game, tell me what you think of Nathan Hughes' lid at the minute. What am I seeing? It looks like a Smurf sneezed on the back of his head. Good balance, good height, says Wayne Barnes. Is this the first? This is the first scrum of the game. No doubt this is going to go down. Right. Let's see what happens here. Bristol look a bit long in the leg, but we'll see. And it holds, and Saracens get the squeeze on it, and Bristol start to stand up, but Hughes is there to pick it up at the back, and huge amount of pressure on him as he's wrestled to the ground, but Bristol just about able to set the caterpillar, and will clear their lines. Wigwam bam. It's good contest in the air, and it goes backwards off both players, and then we got a bit of shoving and wrestling on the floor. The touch judges run on the pitch to deal with it. Fair play. Scenes you love to see. They normally just stand on the touchline, have a good watch, and make sure nobody punches anybody in the face. As ball is stripped, no clear roll, so we'll come back for the advantage. And touch judge just shouting across to Wayne Barnes. 2 players on the floor wrestling. Well, where's my ball tracking gone? Well, let's have a look at this roll away claim. Well, not too sure about that. I think that's fair enough. Anyway, Lazowski will have a little cheeky dink at this. It's fairly straight, and it's a beautiful draw from right to left into the heart of the posts, and Saracens equalise 11 minutes in. 3 apiece. Right. So we're back off and running, no mucking about in this game. It's deep. Ray will carry up. Tackled by Thacker, and Aled Davis then will set the caterpillar and boot it down the line, and got no touch. So, I tell you what, Bristol have got away with one there. Saracens had made the ground, just jumped past it a little bit. Again, Uren looking to put some pressure on that back 3, and he drops it, but Saracens are able to maintain possession. Billy Vulapola being driven back by Nathan Hughes. Says, give me back that England shirt. And Saracens being driven back. We don't see this very often from a Saracens team, but I suppose they're a little bit of Premiership ring rust just on show, as Davis is getting lots of slow ball, and they set the caterpillar ready for another kick. It's one thing I haven't missed about the Prem, is the ridiculous amount of kicking we see. Something I love about Super Rugby, don't kick so much, and if they do, it's creative. It's not, I'm not going to say pointless, because there is a point to kicking, but yeah, there's more ingenuity in the kick, and there's an advantage for Bristol. They chip over the top, and O'Connor gets onto it, but it was a bit of a weird kick, if I'm honest, and Sheedy's smirking away and apologising to his teammates. This time it's Saracens that don't roll away. So, and again, just trapped in by the tackling man. They can't. There's definitely a game plan from the players that if you're tackled and you've got the man the wrong side, get hold of him, hold him in. Anyway, Sheedy is going to have a little dig at this. I reckon this is about 55 metres out, you know. I think there's this is a big nudge. 48 metres, they're saying. I reckon that's 48 metres out. But you've got the angle as well. It's just inside the 15 channel. It's a big draw, and it does sail through without problem. I reckon he had another 7 metres on that. That's huge. That's a big boy nudge. Jeez Louise. Right. Bristol 6. Saracens 3. Is this ball tracking wrong? Let's have a little. See if that fixes things. Right. So it's going to be a Bristol line out. Sorry, it's not. It's a Bristol penalty, and it will now be a Bristol line out. There you go. Fun little stat there. Let's see if I can bring it back up for you as we set this line out up. Bristol averaged 22 kicks from hand in 2019-2020 season. 19 in the 2020-21 season. In the first 13 minutes of this game, they have kicked 15 times. That's a stat and a half, isn't it? Right, so forward pass, just a little bit of overrun. But, oh, I tell you what, we're coming back for a tackle by Vunipola. We're coming back for a tackle on off the ball from Vunipola on Nathan Hughes, and TMO was quick there to intervene. It's all shoulders, and luckily it's just below the chin. There we go. So, Bristol are going to kick this, and it's going to go through. 49 metres this one. Sheedy is taking Saracens to the sword with his boot. Let's have a look at this one. There's just a touch behind the ball tracking. It's down the heart. I tell you what, he's still got 5 metres on that. Easy got 5 metres on that still. Anyway, Bristol 9, Saracens 3. Commentary team just talking there about the referees. I didn't know this, so really interesting to hear. This season, they're going to put the referees in pods. So you'll have the same 3 referees working together all season. So it looks like either Wayne Barnes will ref the game, Paul Dix will ref the game, or Lee will ref the game. Anyway, Bristol then from the kick-off into their own 22, and they kick, and wow, just gets it up to the 10. Not a great kick, under a lot of pressure, over the top. There's a second ball on the pitch, and Lvovsky gets his hands on it, but then he loses the ball on the ground, and Bristol on the attack. Lloyd tries to offload in the tackle, unsuccessfully, goes to ground, but Bristol are able to scramble and clean it up a little bit, and Uren decides that there's some space in the backfield, which wasn't really there, but puts the nudge in anyway. And Saracens will then kick, and the kick tennis continues. Back and forth they go. Huge kick from Uren, 22 to 22. And again, Sheedy looking for the space, picks his spot, and that touchline is covered. So Niadi Alokan has a kick of his own, and again that touchline is covered. And Saracens opt to run instead, and being asked all sorts of questions at the breakdown, but are able to recover that, and out the back door from the forwards, and they look to ship it wide. There is an overlap on, and greedy from the Saracens winger, as Saracens now look to play a little bit of ball in hand rugby, stressing this defence in width. And can't tackle the 9. Tackling the man without the ball. I think that's Lloyd, who's absolutely slotted Aled Davis. And Saracens will have a stab at goal by the sounds of it. Well, there we go. Great hands from Saracens. Really, really slick, fast hands under pressure as well. Well, I think he's a little bit unfortunate there, because he's tried to clear the 14. He's evidently tried to clear the 14 into Aled Davis, but I wouldn't say he's tackled the man off the ball. Anyway, this one 53 metres out, and it sails wide. Oh, well, no, it's short, sorry. Short by a metre or two. And huge boot from Charles Piatow, and Lozovsky is unable to do anything about it and goes into touch. So it'd be a Saracens line out just inside their own 10 as they set the driving maul. Caramel is in the house. It has started, Caramel. You've missed about 20 minutes. But welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. How are you? It has indeed started. It's 9-3 to the Barebacks. And it's Kick City. The whistle's gone. Everybody's chasing the ball to the Saracens dead ball area. And it's dotted down by Bristol. The Bristol fans cheer. But Lewington is well off the field, and we're coming back for a line out. BT having a word with Kelly Brook then, while we just get things reorganised. And, Uren has to go on the double pump. And it's a knock-on from... who's that? 12? I'm not sure, but it's a knock-on to Bristol, and Saracens move the ball into Nick Tompkins, who has 3 or 4 fellas to bring him to ground, but does eventually. Caramel, remind me, you're a Saracens fan, aren't you? Thanks for joining us, by the way. It's been a while. But it's good to be back. Anyway, Saracens then will loft this one up into the night sky. It will come down on the halfway line, and Saracens retain the ball. Good work from them as they crash over and secure possession. Lazowski with a little step inside, but Bristol able to switch their feet and make the tackle. What I am noticing though, these defences, both defences, pretty narrow. They're still looking to blitz that 10-12 channel and put pressure on the playmakers as the ball goes up again. And back off red, and it bounces free, back off blue, and Charles Petertown. Oh, he sent him to the shops twice. 4 tackles missed. And Thacker, Uren. Oh, I don't know how he's not scored that. 3 metres out. I think that's Lloyd. Oh, all started from Charles Peartow. Had absolutely nothing on. Tried to go for the kick, but was getting charged down. And then filthy step. And that's the second defender beaten. Then he's away. 2 men chasing him down. He hasn't got the pace to beat them on speed alone, but he knows that he can hand one off and step inside the other. That's 4 defenders beaten in 1 run. And then Lloyd tries to step his man, but can't quite get past him. And now Saracens have a line out on their own 5 to get out of. Where's the ball tracking gone now? What is going on with this ball tracking tonight? What is this fraudulence? Oops. Oh, I don't know where my ball tracking's gone. What's happened to that? Let's see if we can put it back in. And what have we got there? Got a penalty. Benno on the wrong side of the referee there. There we go. We got our ball tracking back. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. So we'll have a penalty to the Bearbacks. And based on Sheedy's kicking form this evening, he's got a good chance of nudging this. He is going to have a go at this. What are we saying? I reckon this one's probably 43. I'm going to go with about 43 metres out. 48. Jesus. These are some monster kicks he's been asked to nudge, and he's done so successfully so far. Looks like ball tracking. It's going to tell us it's a no, but we'll tell you by how much in just a second as it comes through our screen. We are about 20 seconds behind ball tracking this evening. It just doesn't come back. He hits the draw, but it doesn't draw at all. Just carries on through. So he pushes that one, Still plenty of legs on it. Mad. We are live again this weekend. I'm hoping to be live a couple of times, but as I mentioned earlier, my wife isn't well. She's in hospital, and I will be doing the old visiting hours. So I might not get any rugby in tomorrow, but we'll certainly work a game in on Sunday. We'll be live for Newcastle Falcons, Harlequins. Good to see Mike Brown play against his old teammates. Do, of course, if you haven't already, be a gem. Go on. Give it a little tap. That like button. Give that like button a little tap. 7 likes. And we've got 12 minutes to half time. Can we get double figures on likes by half time, do we reckon? Is that even possible? Might be. There's 4 of us here. There's 4 of us here. Right. Anyway, Bristol then with the line out just outside the Saracens 10. And they will set the driving maul. By the way, feel free to start a conversation. We can do a bit of chatting in between plays. I'd love you to give me a topic to talk about, and we can have a little bit of a chinwag. That would be magic. It'd also be magic if you hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the show. Right, Piatau then under pressure, and he flings the offload away, and Lloyd takes it on the bounce and does well just to gain a few metres, and then Andy Rem with the little dummy that fools no one. Sheedy steps in at 9, and the forwards will clear that mess as Juren now comes in for the boxy. Happy days. Big boot downfield, and Saracens return with interest and fine touch. What are we saying? BT Sport. Oh, here we go. Playmaker balance. Off 12. 12% for Bears. 8% for Saracens. Off 10. 15% and 16%. Bears and Saracens respectively. Off 9. 73% for Bears. 76% for Saracens. So much being played off 9. And, I mean, it really does show in the kicking game, if we're honest. Sheedy doesn't throw a great pass and puts Bristol in all sorts of bother, and Piatau is stayed down, and Saracens will have the scrum. Eight likes. Let's go. There's only one person left. Look at that. Marvellous. Right. So, keep those likes coming in, by the way, people. And feel free to say something. You chatty lot. I do love Wayne Barnes. We haven't had a scrum for a while, boys. So, just a reminder. Balance and height. He's not wrong. I think this is only the second scrum of the game. It's been quite free-flowing. Maybe the third. Right, so Aled Davis will put this in, and as soon as they're set, crouch bind and set is now called. And instantly, it's a penalty to Saracens. So you fancy them to have a little pop at goal from here. Collapsing the scrum as Wayne Barnes pushes away the tight head from going to have a little bit of afters with a few Bristol boys, and they have gone for the posts. So penalties conceded at the scrum. 1 for Bristol, none for Saracens. Wayne Barnes. I do love... Something I don't like about football is you can't hear what the referee's saying. Love that about rugby. It's one of my favourite things about watching rugby is you get all the clarity from the referee. When Barnes there just saying really good patience on the crouch bind set. And to be fair, he did hold them for a while. And Lozowski will slide that one through without problem. And Saracens are back within 3. 9-6 now. Right then, we'll get you some stats for half time as well to have a little look at. Right, so Davis hoists this into the air and it bounces, and Piatau will take that just inside his own half, and Uren looking to catch that back 3 out, and doesn't, quite frankly, just chucks it down his throat on the 22. The 41st kick, 42 kicks now. We're about to see 43 in 33 minutes. That is a ridiculous number of kicks. And 44th will find touch. Jesus. It's just cagey. So cagey. Right. There we go. And Alec Davis kicks that one, and Lewis Lloyd just praying that one carried on bouncing. There we go. It's a monster nudge, and there's no one home. There you go. Just the comms team there, just pointing out the number of opportunities that are being presented to them. And yeah, commentary team not best impressed with the number of kicks and the number of overlaps being turned down as this scrum goes to ground. Earl just revving up his fellow forwards. John Afoa in the stands, doing a bit of coaching for Bristol as well as playing. And the ball does make it to the back, so it is available, and Nathan Hughes picks it up, but just as he does, Wayne Barnes lifts his whistle to his lips and will award Saracens the penalty. I'm going to assume that was collapsing. Looked like the tight head went down. So Riccione, sorry. Okay. So, Saracens kick then for touch, and they are just outside of the 22. And oh. Right. Wayne Barnes not happy with Wollstonecroft at all there, just listening to what was being said, and essentially he's told him to stop shouting at the touch judge, and if Saracens won't make the mark, you either throw it down the middle or adjust to them, not the other way around. And penalty advantage for Saracens at the driving maul, collapsed by Bristol, and you would say this is going to be the leveller. Who's that? Lahif, by the looks of it. Little dummy at the front, and finds his man in the middle, and it's Max Lahif. Yeah, he just loses his shoulder underneath and ends up sacking 3 or 4 men. So, can't argue with that. Okay. Right, so Luzowski, I will get better at this, is going to nudge this one through and equalise, says Ball Tracking. Let's see what happens. Ooh, little under a minute left on the clock as he gives this one a dink. And it is another beautiful draw. And, yeah. Oh, the nurses have moved my wife to a window bed. How delightful. Right. Okay, so Saracens then take the kickoff just outside of their own 22, and they'll set La Caterpillar for what feels like kick 187, but I think we are pretty close to 50 now. Let's see if I can see very quickly. A quick little tot up. 49 kicks, yeah, so there you go. Christ. Anyway, Uren Pietau and tries to get the offload away, and Billy Vinapola flicks it out of the air, snatches it out of the air, from while he was retreating back to defend. And Lewandowski stabs one through. Referee acknowledges that with Sheedy that the clock is dead, and that will be the half as he boots that field. Right, well, 2 scorers in this. 6 scores, but 2 scorers. Sheedy and Lozovsky. So, there you go. Don't know what to say about that first half. What do you think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Bit cagey. Not going to lie. Bit cagey. But it is what it is. And, you know, that is that. Right, so, half-time. We will follow our normal procedure for half-time. We're going to take a short break while I go and drain the main vein and see if I can find something else to drink. Might have to make a cup of coffee. But yes, I will be back in just a few minutes. We'll unpick the first half of rugby that we've seen, and we'll have a look at these stats. In the meantime, I will leave you with these stats to have a little goosey gander over, so feel free to peruse those, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Welcome back in, everybody. Not a lot to say about that first half. As you saw from the stats over half time, it was just a kick fest. More than 50 kicks in 40 minutes. Quite ridiculous amount of kicking in tonight's fixture. And I don't think that's because of the 50-22, if I'm honest. I think that's more to do with just a really cagey game, just fighting for territory more than anything else. Let's have a little look at some of these stats. So possession, 48% for Bristol, 52% for Saracens, 52% territory for Bristol, 48% for Saracens. Metres gained, 157 for Bristol, 61 for Saracens. Here's some interesting stats. 5 carries for Bristol, 6 for Saracens. So compare that to the kicks, where we've had 28 from Bristol and 22 from Saracens. That's mad. Properly mad. It's a proper kick fest. What have we got? Turnovers, 3 for Bristol, 4 for Saracens. No tries scored, 3 penalties scored each, making the score 9 all at the half. And both teams have missed a penalty each as well. I don't know what to say about this game. I really don't. What are we saying? Penalties conceded. Have we done that one? I don't think we did. 6 for Bristol, 5 for Saracens. No clean breaks from either team. 9 missed tackles from Bristol, 10 from Saracens. 4 of those were in one run by Piatow. And that was the only run of the game. He made about 80 metres. Well, the team made about 80 metres. He made about 50 before his lungs gave out on him. But do let me know what you think. Caramel chocolate would have expected Sarries to dominate. You're not wrong. Like I agree. I expected them to be a little bit more physical than this, and they've not been. I think they've got a little bit of Premiership ring rust going on. They're obviously missing some of their big hitters. The Lions players only returned to the squad on Monday, so they've rested those and are going to continue to rest them for a couple of weeks. So how fit are they going to be coming into the autumn internationals? Who knows? But needless to say, there's another half. We'll see. Well, let's hope it opens up a little bit more than this, because it has been it's been a game of kick tennis. It's been a bit like a training session, if I'm honest. The forwards look fresh. They've just sort of stood on the halfway line and just, if anything, they got sore necks from watching the ball fly over all the time. Right, but we are about to get back underway at Ashton Gate. The players are out. Just waiting for the man in the middle. Big old, what's his face? God, what's his name? Wayne Barnes. Jesus Christ. Anyway, right. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, Wayne Barnes looks about ready to go, as does Callum Sheedy. And away goes the whistle, and Sheedy will set us off and run in deep into the Saracens 22 for Jackson Ray to have a little drive up. Do you have any predictions for the Autumn Nations Cup? Sorry, the Autumn Internationals. I haven't yet. I haven't really thought about it too much. But at the end of the game, let's have a look at them, shall we? Let's have a little bit of a predictor. We might see if there's a fantasy league for it as well. Why not? But Caramel, I definitely will get back to you on that one. Because there is some humdingers. I've got tickets for England, Australia. So there'll be no stream for that one. But yeah, as Nathan Hughes then carries up just over halfway, takes 2 to bring him to ground. Did you see the Australian versus Bot game? Personally, I think South Africans are overrated. I did see the Australia versus Box game, and I loved it. Underdogs on top is always my favourite thing, and I was delighted for Australia. But they've gone a bit French. Do you not think? They did everything they could to throw that away. And then obviously Craig Cooper just sweeps in to save the day. I couldn't stream it, unfortunately, which was a bit annoying because that would have been a great stream. But never mind. That's how we roll these days. Got dad duties and stuff like that, so I was watching it on my phone. But yeah, no, it was a great game to watch. Jesus Christ. I mean, you couldn't write that ending. Nick White winning the turnover off the base of a scrum. It was a madness. What are we saying? Well, knees are down from Saracens in the scrum, and bit of movement from both sides, says Wayne Barnes. We'll just reset that. I do apologise, by the way. Noticed at half time that the chat was turned to subscribers only. So if you were trying to chat, I'm so sorry. I don't know how I did that. But yeah, no, I do apologise. If you were trying to chat, and there's me going, come on, say something, and nobody could. I suppose it's a good incentive to subscribe, though. But it didn't work. If you would like to subscribe, that would be amazing. We're on the road to 800 subs as Saracens get the advantage from the scrum. And we're currently on 778, so just 22 to get. So if you haven't subscribed, that would be so lovely of you. So kind. And we really appreciate it. We didn't quite hit our 10 likes either for half time, so we'll keep that 10 like goal for the end of the game. So if we can get to 10 likes by the end of the game, again, that's another amazing thing. So penalty come in. Offside is the new penalty called, though, which Saracens are going to take. I think they're going to go for goal here. I think they're going to give this a little nudge, you know. It's been a game of big nudges in terms of the penalties as well. Have you got a team that you actually support? I have. I'm a Newcastle Falcons fan. It's where I'm from, though I don't sound like it. Lost my accent when I moved south and toured the country as a redcoat. But the penalty, as we've just seen on our screens, goes through from Lovzowski. I will learn to pronounce his name one of these days. And again, a beautiful kick, just drawing back in from the outside post to the centre, and another plus 40 kick goes sailing through. Bristol 9, Saracens 12. Yeah, so I'm a Newcastle Falcons fan, and internationally I'm an England fan. Right, Saracens then have reprieved themselves from the penalties of the first half, and Callum Sheedy's threatening boot with Lovzowski's threatening boot. Aren't Saracens the underdogs in this game because they have a weaker team this week? I suppose they are, but are they ever the underdogs? Like, it doesn't seem to matter what team they field. They have they just have so much depth in their squad. True. I mean, I don't know how they do it. I mean, previously, we know how they did it. It was illegally. But I don't know how they've maintained their depth. I hear, on the grapevine, Saracens being my local club now, I'm sort of between, I live between Saracens and Northampton Saints in Bedfordshire. But yeah, the offside from Bristol, by the way, and we have got a penalty that they're going to have another go at. Where's this one? This one's pretty straight. I would say this is about 47 metres out. Yeah, these laws are really going to benefit the England squad. Yes, I agree with that. I think there'll be a disadvantage as well. England tend to carry a heavier pack and a slower pack, and they're going to struggle to get out of these breakdown situations. But I agree, the 50-22 is made for the Springboks in England. So the kick's good, and it's now 9-15. Saracens starting to pull away a little bit, 6 points clear as they extend their lead by another 3. Bit more kick tennis. Piatau puts one up for Davis to take, and again, no options on, so another boot. And it goes out on the full. He's outside the 22, and the young fullback has made an error there. New Zealand won't have any trouble with adapting. Like always, they are the GOATs. You're right, they are the GOATs. I think the tying in defenders law, or the rolling away law, is going to be really, really good for them. They're very smart around the park, and they're very agile. I think the 50-22, I just don't think they'll bother with it. They're not really a big kicking team, are they? Anyway, Bristol just about secure ball off this line out, and Leaf will have a carry up of his own, and Urin just sticks a foot on it to make sure it doesn't fly out the back, and Nathan Hughes on the blind side, but he's well watched, and Bristol looking a little bit isolated as Billy Vunipola makes the tackle. Sheedy fires it out, and oh, it's a great line from Thacker. He steps inside and there's no support, but it does arrive, and Bristol get the advantage. Sheedy thinks about the kick before he's taken a little bit late. Bristol now trying to play some of that rugby we're so used to seeing from them, as Ashton Gate ignites in noise. Scenes you love to see. Missed that so much from rugby in the UK over the last 18 months. As Latua comes up to the Bristol FC 18-yard box line, lightly painted on the pitch. Still penalty advantage coming as Bristol continue to use their forwards, trying to punch holes in this Saracens defence. Vui then up to 5, another advantage coming, and a penalty for Bristol, 20 metres from touch. And Charles Piatau, thinking about going quick, decides not to, and Callum Sheedy makes a quick decision and goes to the corner, while Saracens have got a number of players on the floor just stretching off. And Bristol Bears fans are delighted with that decision. Let's get some rugby played. Right, so 5 metres out. I tell you what, if this gets held up, we'll see something else new for this year, won't we? We'll see the goal line drop out. Thacker as well, pointing at the gap he wants, hits Billy Vunipola's outside shoulder, leaves him for dead. And I'm not going to lie to you, second time I've seen Billy play this season, massively underwhelmed by his performances. Not impressed. He got lazy against Ulster a couple of weeks ago, and again he gets done on the outside. It's his tackle to make, doesn't make it. Oh, Thacker, poor throw, but it bounces off the back and he's able to gather it up, but they're 22 metres out now. Oh, referees are just discussing a deliberate knock-on from Swinson for Saracens, and officials are going to have a look at it. Thacker does well to cling on to that as he spills it between his legs. All action at Ashton Gate now. What a difference a half makes. Uren, great flick on from Sheedy. Piatow is a bit isolated and just about able to get that back, and the Bears have they've had a bollocking at half time, evidently. No deliberate knock-on from the TMO is the final decision, so we will continue. Bristol now outside of the 22. Again, this Saracens blitz is putting everybody under pressure. So they're not committing at the breakdowns and are able to reset it. Piatow with them dancing feet, beats 4, takes the 5th man to bring him down as he takes them back towards the 22. Again, Saracens relentless in their blitz defence, and this time Sheedy has a little dart. 13 phases played. Not a single person being committed to the breakdown unless they're a little bit isolated, and then they'll put 1 or 2 in. Again, just the tackler and 1 man at the breakdown, so plenty of cover, and Ewan has to go it alone. "17 phases played, and Thacker knocks it on. It's going to be a scrum for Saracens. That defence just too much for Bristol. And for the first time, Saracens looked physically dominant. Really great work of just folding and resetting. Not interested in the breakdown unless the runner was isolated and went on his own. Right, looks like we're going to have some changes. Looks like we're going to swap the front row around. Some tired legs out there. Both props are suffering with a bit of cramp by the looks of it. Wow, Swinson there is got away with one. Just seeing the replay of the line out, and he literally wraps his arm around both of Nathan Hughes' arms and squeeze them together so he can't catch the ball. Wow. We got a game of rugby. Welcome in. We're 1 like off our 10 goal. Oh, can we get there? Can we get there? Can we get 2 subs before the end of the half, the end of the game as well? So, who's that coming off? Is that Hale coming off? Got a heavy bleed on the nose. Sad news for the Falcons. Mike Brown won't be taking part against his old club. He is injured, so he'll have a couple of weeks on recovery. Right then, so Saracens then with the scrum, which holds perfectly firm. And Billy Vanapola spills the ball, and Uren's there to clean it up. He's having a howler. So Bristol then are back on the attack on the Saracens 22, and they've no interest in kicking anymore. So they move the ball into midfield. And Saracens blitz up. And it's spilled backwards. Oh my goodness. all going on. It's spilled backwards from Uren, and Nick Tompkins has the presence of mind to sweep it back with his foot. And as it breaches that defensive line of Saracens, who's that? Liua fires through to pick it up, and it looks like he's through for the try, but knocks it on. So we'll have another Saracens scrum. Not sure why it's saying Bristol. There you go. I'm not quite sure what Austin Healy's talking about on comms. He's going, no, this is such a scrappy game. No one can get more than 3 phases going. Bristol just had 19 phases on the bounce. I mean, it's not been the best game of rugby to watch. I wouldn't necessarily call it scrappy. I'd call it cagey. Pat Lam agrees. Pat Lam blaming a bit of rust and some good defensive set from Saracens as to why they're slowing down. Oh, and the dew, of course. Love a bit of dew. Right. I'll let Davis to put in for this scrum. And Saracens will get a hold of this. Penalty. Saracens dominating this scrum set piece. And Saracens will kick this downfield then. Looks like they're going to get it just over halfway. Right. While we've got a second, caramel chocolate. I've just brought up in front of me the autumn internationals. So I'll give you a little feedback on who I think is going to win what. Scotland Tonga. That's probably going to be the closest game of the weekend, and I think Scotland will pinch it as an advantage comes for Saracens. Now another penalty for lying on the floor, causing everyone to trip over it, collapsing them all. Second game of the first week, Wales v New Zealand. Well, I can't see anybody but New Zealand taking that. USA Ireland is the other game, and that's in LA. Ooh. Oh, sorry, it's not in LA. It's in Las Vegas. Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna be Ireland all day long, isn't it? As Barrington is on for Riccioni, as Saracens lose the line out just outside of Bristol's 22, and Thacker there cleaning up the tip on, and again we're going to have to kick it away. Zuren fires this down the 5 metre channel, a bit more in field than that, to be fair, and Lewington skips out of 2 tackles for the third, brings him to ground, and Lazowski then puts a little chip through, and oh, it's all gone to shit, and Sheedy spills it backwards, and Tompkins kicks it on, but Thacker's there to clean it up. And it's great work from Bristol to clean that up. They really had to work hard to get back on side and come through the gate. And now Uren will put them under a high ball. Billy Bonapola with a carry then. Makes a few metres, and again an advantage for the penalty. Vui not able to get out of the tackle, and will come back for the penalty. I'd imagine they're going to kick this because it's 48 metres out, I'd say. Pretty much straight. Great little nudge through. Puts Callum Sheedy under all sorts of pressure. Doesn't take it cleanly. Goes through his legs. Nick Tompkins kicks it through. And Thacker stays on his feet. Drives his legs until support arrives. Fantastic work from him. Right. Back to the Autumn Internationals. Week 2. Ireland, Japan. Ireland win that. England, Tonga. England win that. Wales, South Africa. Ooh, be a good game. Be a good game. I'll go with South Africa, though. France, Argentina. France will win that. Italy, New Zealand. New Zealand will trounce that. And then Scotland, Australia. Don't mind that. That's going to be a bit tasty, that one. But I'd go with Australia, I would say, over Scotland. I think it's going to be close, though, as that one sails through. Starts centre and draws towards the near post. And the score now with a double deficit. Bristol 9, Saracens 18. Saracens just chipping away with the boots. Week 3. Scotland, South Africa. South Africa. Ireland, New Zealand. New Zealand. England, Australia. You guessed it. Australia. Italy, Argentina. Argentina. France, Georgia. France. Wales, Fiji. Wales. These are pretty easy. Right. Kick downfield. Kick back. On the halfway line, Uren puts one up. It's just outside the 22 for Davis, and huge pressure comes from Bristol. Thacker off, Cappan on, Woolmore off, Thomas on, Lloyd off, Bates on. Week 4. How many weeks of this is there? Oh, okay, week 4. Scotland, Japan. That'd be a good game. Probably Scotland just. England, South Africa. Oh, I'd love England to win that, but I think South Africa will have the nudge on it as Uren puts up midfield. And they've stole it. It's a big kick. It's down into the 22. It's not going to make the dead ball line, so Bristol will have to panic, kick clear, and just at, halfway between the 22 and the 10. So there you go. Great work from Saracens. What else have we got? England, South Africa. Oh, I'd say I'd love England, but I think it'll be the Saffers. Wales, Australia. I think Wales will chip, just get over the line there. France, New Zealand is probably going to be the game. If France turn up, it's going to be the game of the autumn. I think that's got huge potential. Fancy that. But we'll go with New Zealand on form. Italy, Uruguay. Italy will win that. And Ireland, Argentina. Fancy the Argies to turn them over. But I'll give it to Ireland. There you go. There's me Autumn Nations roundup. What do we got here? Ooh, we've got a head. That's a red, you know. You can't get much lower than that. I don't think there's. Right, so we're saying there's no contact by 18. So now we're looking at red 2. There is clear. Just having a look at this. My initial reaction was 18 is saying goodnight, because there's contact with their head, but they're saying no contact. They're saying contact with the shoulder. Right, so they're saying that the tackle from 18 pushes him into number 2. It's penalty only. It's no foul play. Oh no, we're just going to continue. Not even a penalty. Happy with that. That's a great conversation there, and well explained. So basically, what they're saying is that because the tackle from number 18 has brought the ball carrier to his knee, and Wollstonecroft has bent at the hip and he's hitting flat. There's nothing he can do about it. It's just a rugby incident. Let's play on. Love that. Got time for days for that. As Bristol go from the line out to width, as they hit one wing to the other, and they come back the other way now. Again, spinning it wide, stretching this defence, and Holmes up to the 22, and this is how they need to play. This is how they need to beat this Saracens defence, because they are very narrow. As Thomas carries up. Oh, Sheedy shakes his hips. Piatow shakes everything and beats the first man. And is down injured. He's not got back up. He's clutching his knee. As Saracens then scramble from left to right, and Bristol pile on the pressure. Piatow just at the top of the screen there, just hobbling back to position. Doesn't look in a good way. Capon then carries up, and Bristol stagnated on the 22. 9 phases in. 10 phases in. Oh, and Sheedy throws the dummy to the man, and it's knocked on. And turn the ball over. It's a huge kick, and it almost goes out in the 22. And Bates is having to find Piatow, and who's under immediate pressure. And now Bristol under the pressure as they just about scramble to get the ball safe, and Urin is forced to find touch and just hit the reset button. Good grief. Okay, now it's gone a bit scrappy. I'll concede it now, Austin Healy. Now it's scrappy rugby. It's what we love to see. How are we doing on those likes? 10 likes! We did it! Huzzah! Thank you so much, everybody. I really do appreciate that. It really helps the channel out massively. So thank you for that. Have we hit? Oh, wow. Let's have a little check. Shall we? Have we hit us? No, we haven't hit the 780 subs yet. If you're new round here and you're not subbed, I'd love it if you would. Oh, there's a stat being brought through from the comms team. Bristol have scored a try in their last 58 games. 63 minutes into this one, they haven't. There's time. But they're going to really have to stretch this Saracens defence. They are going to have to work their tails off. As off comes Piatow for Randall. And Lahif comes off for Armstrong. So... and who's that on as well? We've had Uren's off as well. Little bit of contact in the air. Not sure who from though. Swinson off. Hunter Hill on. Yeah. And Bristol Bears just hemorrhaging penalties at the minute. It's another one now. 11 conceded in all. I think that's 12 actually. 6 for Saracens. And there we go. Right then. So, we're going to kick again. And Wazowski will tee this up. Lazowski sails through the middle again. 21-9. He's never kicked more points in a Premiership match. 21 points all for him. Jesus Christ. Well, sorry, can't say Jesus Christ in a rugby game. Because he'd be useless, wouldn't he? His hands are full of holes. Right. Saracens then received a kick-off, and Billy Vunipola looking to arc a line to build up some steam, and is brought down by two big old... I think he was looking for Nathan Hughes to try and take him on, and he's failed. Caramel Chocolate, I told you they would pick things up. That's my team. You best believe they've picked things up. Although they haven't played any better. Just Bristol are making more mistakes. I wouldn't say that Saracens have dominated attack. They've certainly dominated defence and the kicking game. Remember at half time it was pretty much all square on the kicks from hand, wasn't it? It was 28-25. It's now still dead even. 37 kicks from Saracens, 35 from Bristol. I'll concede that as another kick goes off. Oh, I see what's happened. Okay, so Uren has gone to the left wing. Somebody's gone to fullback, and Randall, who came on for Pietau, has gone in at 9. Of course, picking up his international debut over the summer. I mean, that's something to say for a number 2 second string club 9, isn't it? Oh well, that's dear. Lured to get him in the NFL. That was miles forward. Just the commentary team there, just pointing out that Bristol aren't reloading very well. They're not getting back into position very quickly. Caramel Chocolate, it's all the same to me as long as the scoreline flatters us. You're not wrong. Bristol have flattered you this evening, that is for sure. But we love to see them back. The Premiership's not the same without Saracens. I mean, everybody was pleased that they went down because of what they did. Can't deny that. They got caught being naughty. Fair play. They got punished. And they took their licks, to be fair to them. Even though they didn't play ball all the way through it. But they're back. They're a great bit of business for the Premiership. A great money earner for them. And that's a nasty landing for the Saracen, but he's back up. Ooh. And it is going to be a knock on. He tried to chip it off his foot. Oh. Knocked it on and then chipped it up off his boot. So Yeah. A year without us and Harlequins win the Premiership. What's this madness? Wow. Big push on this scrum, and this could be all over. 12 minutes to go. What is it? What's the difference? 12 points? 12 points the difference. 11 minutes on the clock. Pierce O'Connor with the knock on in his own 22 puts his defence and forwards under huge pressure. It was a madness last season. Harlequins were never destined to win that at the beginning of the season, were they? But what a turnaround they had after Christmas. Mental. 10 of us in here. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you all. If you haven't, hit that like button. I'd love it, mate. I'd love it. Just give it a tap. And if you haven't hit that sub button as well, we're on the road to 800 subs. We're 2 off of 780. We'd love to get to 780 by the end of the stream. That would be crazy. Anyway, Saracens are setting up this scrum. They're taking their time about it as well. They're being smart. Yeah, what craziness was that? It was always supposed to be Exeter versus Bristol, that final, wasn't it? With an Exeter rollover. And they just didn't turn up. They had their... I think they just... I don't think they... I think they just expected to win it. I think they expected to walk the whole thing. Because they didn't really turn up properly all season. Anyway, Uren's off. I'm not sure who came on for him, though. If I'm honest. Don't know. But, Saracens then holding on to this scrum. And Billy Vunipola peels off the back. And Dom Morris running back into traffic. And Saracens then just setting it up. And Lazowski with a kick. And there's nobody home in the corner. Saracens are going to go over for the first try of the game. Oh, what are we seeing? What are we seeing? Great work from Lazowski. And, there are some big boy smiles as Alex Lewington dots down in the corner. And let's have a little look here. Yeah, Bristol just... Bristol just splits up. And there's nobody home in the corner. And Lazowski sees that. Dinks one through. And Lewington is able to stop, gather the ball, and slide in the corner. Great try for Saracens. And yeah, we will see. Where's this conversion going? It's successful. So 9:26. Oh no, he's not. He's missed it. 9:26 is the score. And he's clocked that there's the space out there, and he shapes his wrists and hips to fling the pass, and then just drops everything onto his back hip and dinks a grubber in. That's sexual gravy. What have we seen? Season at Montpellier has done him the world of good as Saracens knock it on. Jackson Ray let's have a look at this. Jackson Ray and Aled Davis get themselves in a tangle. Nobody puts a name on it, and they both let the ball go, and we'll have a Bristol scrum deep in Saracens territory. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, can Bristol salvage something from this? They're not going to get try bonus points. Can they get within 7? No, I don't think they can even. They might be able to get 16. No, puts them on 10. So they can't even get within 7 as Randall chases the ball out the back of the scrum and flings it into midfield. And Nathan Hughes now carries up just over the 18-yard line of the Bristol FC football goal. Latua carries just outside of the 5 now. Thomas spins into contact as Bristol. They look to set the pick and go game, but it's a little cheeky flick on from Nathan Hughes, and now they're a metre out, right under the posts. A snipe. Great tackle from Barrington. Hughes in the middle. Has he knocked that on? He's knocked it on. Oh. Four defenders on Nathan Hughes. No support for him. And just lands on the ball and it squeezes free. Massive scrum required from Bristol then if they want to get a try on the board and continue that long-standing streak of scoring in every single Premiership game they've played. And judging by every other scrum, this is either going to be a penalty or Saracens are going to be very comfortable. It collapses, but play it away is the cry from Wayne Barnes, and Lozowski fires that over halfway and out. That's a huge boot from his own dead ball zone. Well, Owen Farrell, how are you getting into this team, son? Because for me, if I'm picking my dick of the day today, which I am, it's going to Lozowski. He has had an absolute stormer. Right, so Bristol then. Oh, they don't quite go off the top. They bring it to ground first, and there's a chip over the top into space, and it bounces. And Bristol concede the penalty, a shove in the back. Wow. There we go. Jared Wright on Twitter tweets, has Nick Tompkins got an off switch? Karma, do you think Farrell has long left in the England squad? I mean, what's he, 28? He's probably got another 8 years in him, playing wise. In the England squad, yeah, but not as captain, if I'm honest. I don't like having a fly. Like, I get he's a massively respected player, but what you're asking your fly half to do is completely control the game, and then you're asking him to control his team as well. As a great kick comes in and O'Connor forced to take that out, so it will be a 5 metre line out for Saracens. Yeah, I just don't like that Farrell has so much to do, so much to think about, and in doing that, it takes a piece away from his game. So I think, yes, there's longevity in his career. Is he in a bit of a rough patch? Yes. Is he the right man for the England captain right now? No. But what are your opinions? Caramel's given us something to chat about. There's 8 of us here. Drop us a line. Drop something in the chat. What do you think? Farrell to continue as captain? Farrell to continue for England? Who do you bring in his place? Latua off, Hennon on, and a wild out the back door, Bowden Barrett style fling, and it goes into touch, and Bristol will have the line out. Oh, are they giving it to? I think Bristol. Sorry, I think BT Sport. Oh no. Lazowski gets man of the match from BT Sports. I think that's absolutely fair. And some honourable mentions for Riccioni, who's had a great game as well, and Tompkins again had a great game. Bristol then are going to do what they can to get something else on the score sheet as they play out of hands from in their own 22. As Tompkins tries to steal but loses his footing. Sheedy, nothing on, so he tries to flick one over. And Simpson, oh, he's not that forward. So advantage coming for Bristol, but they're on their own 5 with 3 minutes left on the clock. And they're just going backwards. Scrum asked for from the Bristol Bears, and yeah. Oh, the commentary team. It's taken them 78 minutes to be precise, to mention it. But they've just mentioned it. Is anyone forgiving Saracens for what they did? Or are we just happy they're back? I think it's a bit of both, isn't it? Let's be fair. They've served their time. There's lots of changes in their squad. Yeah. I still think they're doing something dodgy. Lie. Still. I've heard some things. I've heard that they've paid their superstars. So because there's no salary cap in the championship, they've paid their superstars for their next 5 years of wages last year, so they don't have to pay them this year, and they won't be included in the salary cap. That is a loophole that's bullshit. Quite frankly, if that's true, that's awful. But I just don't know how you fix it. Because people have paid a lot of money at these clubs to find loopholes. Anyway, Saracens are back with a bang, exactly how they wanted to be. Bristol, like a middle-aged man with a prostitute, have flopped. They have not been at the races at all. That's a weird analogy. It's a great break from Randall. There is space, but it's the story of the night, isn't it? Who's that? Thomas. Randall hits the breadbasket, and Thomas, hands like fucking dildos. Apologies for the language. And yeah. Right, so scrum for Saracens. And I mean, look at that. Look at that time in possession. Is that right? 4 minutes 17 time in possession versus 44 seconds. Jesus. Time up. We are almost done at Ashton Gate. We just have to get this to the back of the scrum successfully. Joe Simpson will put it in. Billy Vunipola picks it, shovels it to Lazowski, and it's into touch. It's time. Bristol 9, Saracens 26. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Right, that's it. I mean, a game of two halves, really. Oh, God, I lost a sub. We were trying to get to 780 by the end of the stream, and we've gone from 778 to 777. That's awkward, isn't it? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, we've got the football on now, on the ball tracking. Thanks for that. Ooh, 1-1. Go on, Newcastle. It's my football team. Right. Anyway, where are we at? There we are. And we just want to... Yeah, we want to get rid of that. We want to get rid of that. That's lovely. Right. There we go. So, Saracens 26, Bristol 9. And do you know what? The better team won on the night. Saracens were the better team in the second half. I think they were the worst team in the first half. There was a lot of ring rust there, and both teams had a boot put up their backside about the amount they were kicking in the first half. Over 50 kicks in the first half is ridiculous. Really just trying to feel out that 50-22 law, but also gain territory as well. But a huge effort in the second half from Saracens to really strangle the life defensively out of Bristol, and that is what won the game. Not great attack. One moment of great attack from Saracens that got the try, but great defence to absolutely annihilate the Bristol Bearbacks. Right. What have we got for the rest of the weekend? Well, hopefully we're going to pick up the late one tomorrow night. I've got rugby in the day, and then, as I said, my wife's in hospital, so I will be on visiting hours then, but might try and catch the late one tomorrow night. Other than that, Sunday we are back at 3 o'clock or 2:45 for the for Newcastle Falcons versus Harlequins. So we'll get those streams set up in the next couple of days. Get them out on Twitter. If you haven't already hit the sub button, please do. You'll be notified when we go live. And of course, smash like. Thank you so much for your company. It's been an absolute pleasure. And it's so good to have Premiership Rugby back. And all that's left for me to say is, as always, face down, ass up. That's the way we like to ruck.